went down. Because we just went through, it was like, well, what's really bothering you? Well, I can't lose any more money. I need to go back to work, and I'm going to be on this couch for 6 weeks now, and I can't watch my daughter. And so we tapped about all these feelings one at a time, and then she was just calm again. And she just healed so much faster without all this anxiety attached to this physical thing that was wrong with her.
Right. Can you explain more in detail how the actual tapping works, and what the tapping does for the body?
Well, we don't know exactly what it does.
Okay.
It seems to work maybe in a way, if you would liken it to like a fiber optic network, that we're sending some signals to the brain to sort and refile, basically making new neural pathways in the brain. And it seems to be connected with certain acupuncture points, and there's many of them. We don't use all of them. And acupuncturists would say that there's maybe 600 or 700 acupuncture points on these energetic meridians through the body. So we're tapping on some on the face, on the chest area, and on the hands, in connection with a negative emotion. So you would either start tapping, if you were just self-applying, when something was bothering you. Now, if you were coming to me, we might be tapping on something that's not happening right now, but maybe something you're anticipating, or something that has happened in the past and you can't quite quit thinking about it or quit worrying about it. So it's the same tapping, but just two different applications, one with me and one when you're doing it with yourself. So we would start tapping on some of these points. Sometimes we would say little reminder phrases to help keep us focused on what it is we're tapping about, because it shifts very fast, and or your mind tries to distract you.
Can you give an example of a reminder phrase?
Say you and I were tapping about, you had some worried feelings about having to play in this tennis tournament. Okay?
Yes.
And last time you dropped the ball and you messed up the whole team and you lost, okay?
Good.
So maybe we might say, even though I have this really big anxious feeling and there's just a knot in my stomach about having to go play in that tournament again. And then you would say an affirmative sort of statement after that. And I accept my feelings about this. Or you might say, I accept myself anyway, even though I have this really big worry and it's a knot in my stomach about having to go play in that tournament because it didn't go very well for me last time. And I'm okay anyway. So we would say that 3 times, and then we would start tapping on these different points. Do you want me to show you these points?
That would be awesome. Yes,
yeah,
please.
The first one is top of head. The next one is here, beginning of eyebrow. So we're just tapping some energy into these points. Right here, side of eye, under nose, chin point, right here at the crease of the chin. And sometimes we might say some reminder phrases like that knot in my stomach, right here is collarbone point. I'm so worried. I feel like I'm going to lose again. This anxious feeling. So we're just tapping on the feeling. We're not tapping on the story of what happened. We're tapping on how you feel about it. And then under the arm, right here. And then right here on this rib. And then I go back to collarbone point again. And then the hand points are the thumb, index finger, middle finger, underneath ring finger, baby finger, and then back to side of hand. So that's one round.
Okay.
And we would keep going and check in occasionally to see, how is it feeling now? Like, do you feel calmer about it? And in a matter of just a few minutes, it just collapses. You're like, I'm gonna go win that tournament.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I played tennis in high school, so I can relate to
You
that.
did?
Yes, I did.
I did not know that.
No, it was perfect. It was perfect.
Like that's, sometimes that happens when I tap with people, that I'll pick the very thing that
They can relate
they
to.
do,
Yeah.
that they're doing or that they're worried about. I'm like, I didn't know that. That was out of nowhere.
So in our class, we've talked about how some health belief systems, people have a calling to be a practitioner. Do you feel like people have callings to practice EFT?
I think so.
You do?
I think so. I'm a nurse. I'm
Okay.
an old nurse. Okay, so I think old nurses definitely had a calling.
Okay.
I did, you know, when wanted to be a nurse, and I knew that was what I was supposed to do. And these modalities that I do with people are so effective, but they aren't far away from that kind of nursing passion that I have, and that's to help people and to give people some tools to help themselves. Because in the end, we kind of have to help ourselves a lot of the time. We have to stay okay and stay balanced. And this is something everyone can do, even little kids, older people, anyone can do this. And you always just have that little skill in your pocket that you can pull out in any situation you find yourself in.
Right. What training or qualifications do you have to be an EFT practitioner?
Well, you have to train with someone who can certify you. There's a couple different organizations. I'm with EFT International. They're based out of in England, and I'm a master trainer with them. So at that level, then I could train you to work with other people. And you have to go at least a couple different levels, level 2 or level 3, to really be qualified to work with someone else.
Okay.
But anyone can share EFT. Even if you come to an introduction to EFT and you just learned it, you might go home and share it with your sister or share it with your mom and say, look, just do this.
Right.
So tapping is easy. The application of it and helping someone with a complex life problem can require a little bit more experience. For those people, they do trainings and learn how to do that.
Is there a specific timeline to become a practitioner, or is it just kind of based upon the person?
Well, I think it's kind of based on the person, but it depends on kind of who you are, what your background is. Anyone can really be a practitioner. You don't have to be like a social worker, a psychologist, or something in the medical field. You don't. In fact, some people become really good practitioners that have not studied anything like that. And I would say, maybe it would take maybe 6 months, maybe a year, to go through those 2 classes and practice. You have to do some case studies, to get certified with this group. You have to do 50 case studies and write those up and practice with people, be mentored by, like if I'm the trainer, be mentored with me. So it's a little bit involved.
How prevalent is EFT? Is it being used widely, or maybe in specific regions?
It is starting to be more widely known. There are a lot of books out there now. There's a lot of research that they've been doing, scientific research, which people like that.
Yes.
There's kind of a whole group of the EFT people that like to do the research. The Veterans Administration is starting to use it for people coming back from Iraq and Afghanistan, people who have these traumas that they're trying to process. They have, and the Psychology Association has sanctioned it as a therapy. So it's starting to become more well-known, extremely more well-known than it was 20 years ago. When I first started this, I was really weird then. Not so much now.
Is it used in conjunction with like Western biomedical practices, or could you see it being used in hospitals?
Oh yes.
Okay.
That was my, I'm an ER nurse, so I always try to teach it to as many healthcare workers as I can. People that work in the hospitals, people who work in nursing homes, people who work in schools, like the school nurse, school psychologist, even the teachers.
Right.
I've had the teachers doing it with the kids in the class to settle everyone down. Maybe they're not working on big problems, but they're working on, let's refocus, or everyone's kind of feeling worried that day about something, or a little bit unfocused, and you can use it for that. So yes, it can be used in conjunction with anything.
Is there anything else you'd like to say about EFT? Anything you think we missed?
Well, that was a pretty good overview. I think that those were some really good questions that you asked. And I would say that if people get a chance to learn how to do this, that they should learn it. And then they should teach it to someone else, because we all need a way to find that peace every day, and we can't avoid controversy in a life, but we can have some good tools to help ourselves and keep moving forward.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.